Nigeria's Dangote industry has announced partnership with Indian companies for the expansion of its refinery and fertilizer plants. And to talk more on this, I'm joined by Aliko Dangote, who is the founder and president of the Dangote Group. Thank you for joining us on Business Today, sir.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Sir, I want to start by asking you that, you've partnered with India for your two mega projects. What made you bet on the Indian companies and, what industrial capacities do you see in the country?
Well, our dealings with Indian company has actually gone back to 2003 when we started expanding our business in terms of cement, when we decided to do 5 million tons, of cement. So we started with that and then cascaded into these mega projects of refinery, the fertilizer. So right now, if you recall, the last, company that we use in detail engineering and EPCM, project of the refinery and the petrochemical, we used EIL, Engineers India Limited, and they did a very, very great job. And, we bought a lot of equipment from Indian companies. On the refinery, I think total we bought a little bit over $2.5 billion out of the entire project. But then other Indian companies also, they, have the erection and fabrication contracts also, which they supply us with labor over maybe 10,000 workers. And that's part of this, and then the rest were Chinese and co. But the Indian companies really have done a very, very excellent, marvelous job, in terms of quality delivery, and that is why we're back here. So when you look at it right now, what we have launched today is not only the refinery and the petrochemical. We are taking the refinery to about 1.4 million barrels per day, and also doing some few modification to accommodate additional types of crudes that we can actually take into process in the refinery. And then the petrochemical, we have from 900,000, about 1 million polypropylene. We're going to 2.4 million tons of polypropylene. Yeah. The fertilizer project, which we also signed with EIL, which is Engineers India Limited, is to do the detail engineering also of that. By doing the detailed engineering, we believe they are the right company to do the detailed engineering, because they did a great job on the refinery, and we believe they are the right partners. So that's why we invited them for this new mega project that we have.
All right. So talking about the refinery, as you said, you're expanding into 1.4 million barrels per day. What led you to take this decision? Is it a strategic need, or you see a market, a market push for that, a market signal?
We have a strategy. First of all, this will actually make us to be one of the lowest producers or refiners in the world. Because of the scale. Number two, there's quite a lot of markets in Africa, because all African countries are importers, with no exception. And, we're sitting right there in the heart of Africa, the western part of Africa, and we're sitting by the sea. So it is very, very easy for us, to go to anywhere. It takes us 12 days to US. It takes us about 12 days to US. It takes us about 10 days to Brazil, Mexico, going up to Argentina, because we're by the sea. And then it takes us about maybe 2 weeks, 2 weeks to America, 12 days to Europe. So we have big market of jet fuel. So we want to really make sure that, we satisfy that market, because as you know, jet fuel business will continue to grow. When you look at, few airlines where they have massive orders in terms of aeroplanes, the aircrafts ordered by Air India alone is about 589 aircrafts. You see Emirates about 530 aircrafts. You see Saudi 380 aircrafts. Even Ethiopian 156 aircraft. So the backlog of orders are there. So as they supply them, the demand is there. In the African, none of these African countries is actually producing, no refineries in Africa that are really operating of size. So we want to really capture that market and be supplying. We want to domesticate Africa as our market. And that's what we're trying to do. So we have our plans and we know where we're heading to.
Now, coming on to India, your partnership with Indian companies. Now, what sort of opportunities will unlock for the Indian companies and for the Indian people with this?
I think it's going to unlock a lot of opportunities. The opportunities are that, we will put orders of equipment. Apart from the labor, the main gain will be the equipment. Within a period of supply of, say, maybe 18 months to 20 months maximum, which is for the long lead items. I think potentially India has an opportunity to have something like about $5 billion plus in terms of, publication, in terms of the equipment, in terms of sales structure, in terms of shipping. So this $5 billion will create quite a lot of jobs. You are talking about $5 billion in a space of 18 months. And that's quite a lot of, orders. And we could do more if we have support from India Export Bank, and definitely this will open up more business. It's not just about trade. This is the real sector, which I think we have the belief that the Indian companies, the quality is good. The publication that we did mostly in India, we haven't really had any issues.
Now talking about your, fertilizer plant, that's also expanding, if I'm not wrong, from 3 to 12 million tons capacity. Yes. Now, how do you think it will impact the food security in Africa and India, with urea? What sort of exports can also India expect?
I think there will be a total transformation of the agricultural sector in Africa. And one of the key issues that we've always had in Africa is actually lack of having fertilizer production, because the fertilizer is something that you need at a certain time. If you are late, then you are not going to use it for the crop season. So what we now are trying to do is to be there when fertilizer is needed. We want to make sure that no African country will be short of supply of fertilizer, and that will help us to take off the usage of especially urea and also even NPK to a certain kilogram per hectare. Right now, people are not getting on time, there is a delay, availability is sort of difficult. So we want to address all these issues. And we really want to be a supplier of choice, not only to Africa, also to India, because India buy a lot of urea. We want to start participating in supplying this sort of materials to India. And I think we're the rightful, we're only about 30 maximum, depending on which part of India, 30, 35 days from Nigeria to, to down here. We want to really do we want to be one of the best suppliers to India, and we have that opportunity.
Any number in mind you have right now, or it'll...
Well, anytime when there is a bid, we want to go and, tender our own pricing, and I'm sure it will be very competitive.
And now, coming on to the Indian company, there are many Indian companies you're collaborating with. One of them is Engineer India. What made you choose the Indian companies over the global competitors? What stands out? And do you see more PSU or private Indian companies collaborating in future with you?
Well, I'm sure, the issue is that right now, most of the Indian companies that we're dealing with, the quality of what they offer to us, both services, and this thing is extremely very, very good. And if you remember, well, if you look at it, maybe you don't know, India is where we are is 15 years behind India. So it is a natural partner where we need to partner. That's why we're having even our our Vision 2030 retreat here, so that we're having great companies in India to come and talk to us and tell us how they have actually moved in the last 15 years, so that we can look at the opportunities. But collaboration between we and Africa and India is a very natural this. We do understand where they're coming from, and I'm sure we will learn a lot from the Indian companies.
And so your mega projects are coming at a time when the energy market is a bit volatile. What sort of risks will you have to take care of in terms of financing, geopolitical risks with crude, and financing and sustainability as well?
Well, sustainability, yes, it is. It will be really sustained, because right now what we have, like what I said, we want to take Africa as our natural market. So most of our own, gasoline and gas oil will actually target the African markets. And the only one that we will sell outside, which we don't have much market because of the aviation industry, is the jet fuel. Jet fuel, the market is very big, and we're going to really, this. Yes, you are right. Financing, we really don't have much issues, because we have planned for financing. How we're going to finance the next expansions. Geopolitical risk, countries putting up duties and co. Well, most countries that we're actually targeting, especially on fertilizer, nobody really put taxes on fertilizers, for example. US did that. They put 15% on us, but I think their own farmers also complain bitterly, so they have removed the 15%. So and now we have expanded. We are very, very confident about our quality, and I think if any company will not be able to sell their products, it will not be us.
Anything on the refinery? Any problems with that, or?
No, we don't have any problem with the refinery. I told you the refinery, what we need to sell within Africa is just the gas oil, which is diesel, and also gasoline. Yes, so gasoline and gas oil, these are the areas where we concentrate in supplying Africa. But on jet fuel, we export to almost everywhere, well, excluding India. India, you have enough capacity. So we are exporting to other parts of the world, and there's heavy demand.
Do you see India and Africa going from trading partners to now co-creators for such big industrial projects in the coming time?
I think, yes, definitely, because if you look at it really right now, we've gone to this massive scale of projects with the Indian company. And I think there are quite a lot of Indian companies, because Indian companies have grown actually from their domestic market into international market. And a lot of them, they want to really take that opportunity. Just like how they have grown within India, they want to take that opportunity to establish businesses in Africa. And majority of them, they really don't want to go into Africa by themselves. So we are the natural partners of people who really want to expand Indian companies into an African market. And we too are looking at opportunities. Okay, what can we do in India? We cannot come and invest in India by ourselves, but we can easily come and invest in India if we have a natural partner. And we've been dealing with some of them, and we'll be very, very willing to do that in the diversification of our businesses.
Any other sectors you feel such collaborations can happen?
That data center, we have our natural industries, which we are in mining, we're in other areas. So there are a couple of other opportunities that will, we're an entrepreneurial company. So entrepreneurial company will keep looking for opportunities of what to do next.
And what's your next vision for Dangote Group, and does India form a part of it? And your one advice to the young entrepreneurs in Asia and Africa?
Well, the vision of Dangote Group, is that we have a vision 2030, which we've just launched, I think today, is to be a 100 billion revenue company by 2030. And that's the target. And I'm sure we'll be able to, achieve that. My advice to young, entrepreneurs is actually to make sure that you exactly do what you know best and be very focused, resilient. Life is not that, easy. Things don't come that easy. But if you are determined to do things, you'll be able to do them. And you shouldn't have the fear of delivering anything. Nothing is impossible. And that's why we were able to deliver the first largest single train refinery, which we just delivered, commissioned a year ago. And you can see we're doubling in the midst of all these uncertainties and we'll deliver. Mind you, when we delivered the other project, we did the construction, mainly even during COVID period. But that didn't stop us at all.
Lastly, just as you said that, data centers and mining can also see collaboration. So anything we can expect in the coming time, and what big numbers you're looking at? Any details about
that? I think it's quite, like what I said earlier on, India is a natural partner of ours. And I think we can really do quite a lot more. We will collaborate more, and I'm sure the government of India will also help Indian companies through the Export-Import Bank of India, just like what the other countries are doing to support their entrepreneurs in terms of export credit. US is doing that, China is doing that, India, they are doing, but not as big as this. And so we expect that the government will also look at that sector. So that will make us participate and buy more Indian equipment and create more jobs in India. So the more equipment that we buy, the more India keeps absorbing their youth to get them to work.
Thank you so much, Aliko, for talking to us.
Thank you.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.